Welcome to the Deep Dive. We're here to break down complex topics, pull out the key insights just for you. And today, we're tackling something really important, actually quite sensitive, the issue of U.S. immigration scams. Specifically, we're looking at how these impact individuals from Africa. It's a tough subject, lots of angles to it. The more we understand, well, the better we can maybe spot the warning signs. So our main source for this deep dive, it's a pretty recent article from SpeakOX. Came out May 11th, 2025. It's titled Exposed Dreams, How to Report U.S. Immigration Scams from Africa Safely and Legally. Now, you probably have an idea maybe of who's behind these kinds of scams. Could be anyone, right? But the article, right from the get-go, it presents this detail that honestly, it kind of flips a common assumption on its head. Okay, let's unpack this because it's right there, plain as day in the introduction. The article says, and I'm quoting loosely here, every year, countless Africans fall victim to immigration scams. Okay, expected. But then perpetrated not only by strangers, but often by fellow Africans who have acquired U.S. citizenship. Fellow Africans with citizenship. That's the kicker.
Yeah, and what's truly fascinating here, and, also deeply unsettling, is precisely that detail, the identity of the perpetrators. Because we often think, like you said, it's strangers, maybe shadowy organizations online, completely unknown entities.
Exactly. Faceless criminals somewhere far away.
But to learn that these scams are frequently run by people who've actually made it through the U.S. immigration system themselves, and, critically, are from the same community as the victims, that just adds this really profoundly insidious layer to it all.
Insidious is the right word.
It really shifts it. It's not just your standard stranger danger anymore. This is exploiting, existing trust networks. Deep community bonds are being weaponized, essentially.
Wow. So it's not just about money then, it's about betraying that trust.
Absolutely, and that makes these scams incredibly difficult for victims. How do you even spot it when the danger comes from someone you might look up to, someone you trust implicitly?
Right, or someone who seems like they have the answers because they've made it.
Precisely. It makes it harder to identify, much harder to report. There's a betrayal there that cuts really deep, coming from such an unexpected, trusted place. So this initial fact alone, it just immediately broadens our whole understanding of the problem, doesn't it?
It really does.
It highlights not just what the scam is, but the psychological complexity, the social dynamics tangled up in it.
Okay, so as we start to get our heads around this, just from this opening point, the main takeaway seems to be just how surprising the identity of these scammers can be. It really challenges our assumptions about where vulnerability lies, who you need to be cautious of. It's not always the obvious outsider.
And this naturally leads you to ask, well, an important question, really. What happens? What are the implications when the very trust that holds a community together becomes the tool used to defraud people within it?
That's a heavy question.
It is. It poses this profound challenge. A challenge to awareness, to education, to safety within those communities, especially when the deception is masked by someone who looks like an insider, maybe even presents themselves as a guide or a success story.
Yeah, someone offering a helping hand, but it's not what it seems.
Exactly. So it really makes you reflect, doesn't it, how understanding this kind of multifaceted deception, even just from this one starting point, how that could really sharpen your perspective on information, on who you trust, and just the sheer complexity of the hurdles people face when they're trying to build a new life.